I haven't had like a legitimate tournament win yet. Having a win under my belt would be really nice.
I don't think anybody on the team's ever had like a first place finish.
솔직히 이번 시즌 초기에는 그냥 생각한 게 좀 배우는 마음으로 하자는 팀적으로 그런 생각을 했는데 점점 상위권 팀 잡고 욕심이 생기다 보니 한 번쯤은 북미에서 우승하고 싶고 항상 저희가 그래비티랑 경기했을 때 탑정글 싸움에서 무조건 이겼거든요. 그거 때문에 좀 그쪽에서 좀 두려워하지 않을까 생각이 들어요.
They're a pretty strong team overall. I don't really know if they have any like big weaknesses. It's just up to us to outplay them as a team.
We grew a lot at the end of the season, and I think we're just going to carry that over through playoffs. We can actually like make a run.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of our NALCS spring playoffs. The fans are ready here in Los Angeles to cheer on their favorite teams, and they should be after some exciting games in Europe today. Hopefully just as exciting games coming our way here in North America. Tip walking into the studio a short time ago. They'll be facing off against Gravity. St. Vicious warming up with some time on the Rift. Got his earphones in the last Shadow making his last-minute notes as well. Good to have him here, I'm sure, for the playoffs. Hello, everyone. I'm James Patterson, and if yesterday was any indication, anything can happen in today's quarterfinal showdown. Now, joining me on the desk to share their league knowledge is Eugene Pobelter Park from Winter Fox, and fresh off his historic and prestigious win with the old league organization, Alex Each. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Excited to be here? Excited for some games?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, we have to start the day by bringing up the playoff bracket to see where the team stands. So today we will see whether it's Team Impulse or Gravity that advances to the semifinals to face our number 1 seed Team Solo Mid. And in the top half of the bracket, Team Liquid won our first quarterfinal series, besting CLG in a neat 3-0 sweep. They'll advance to the semifinals where they'll battle the second seed Cloud9. And of course, all these teams are vying for championship points that become hugely important as teams look to qualify for a spot at Worlds. So gentlemen, I kind of want to get your general thoughts on yesterday's matchup as a whole, because I do believe it caught a lot of people off guard to watch Team Liquid 3-0 CLG.
Yeah, I actually expected CLG to win the set, like either 3-0 or 3-1, because with the level that they've been playing all season long, I thought that they just like destroy Team Liquid. But yeah, I mean, it ended up turning out to be completely opposite. I think that it's because some of the players on CLG aren't as comfortable when playoffs come around.
Yeah, so Alex, I mean, there's a bit of that kind of choke factor that we've talked about with CLG, but on the side of Liquid, they definitely stepped up in that series.
So I think that Team Liquid finally found their synergy, especially like with Piglet. I felt that they didn't really feel that confident, and I've heard they were doing much better in scrims, but when it was coming to the LCS games, they were actually not that on point. And when I was speaking to the Dominate, he said that he didn't know what was happening. So I'm really glad that they stepped up, and I really hope for a closer series there, but I think it all depended on like first 2 games, because I think third game CLG was already like out, because I think there are a lot of like moral players there, and after the first game when they were leading and lost, it shook them hard. And like you could see in the second game, for example, like Smithy missing a lot of like skill shots and everything. And overall, I think in the second games, all the pick was based on Sejuani landing those ultimates. And after it didn't go, like the third game, they were just out. I don't think they could overcome like the Teal already.
Right, so Pobelter, this kind of mentality of, well, we were ahead in the beginning of the game, or the first game, we lost, and then things kind of started to snowball in the wrong direction for CLG. How do you as a player stop mid-series and recollect yourself in order to make the adjustments so that you don't tilt in the wrong direction?
Yeah, so I mean, that's something that I've actually struggled with a lot, like tilting on stage, and I think that CLG honestly has a bit of a tougher time getting over it and like keeping focus, because, you know, like during the season they won a ton, you know, they didn't have many moments where they were losing. And so when you're winning all the time and then suddenly you start losing, then, you know, it can lead to an uncomfortable situation. Maybe someone stops talking as much, and then so that just leads to like decreased communication, and that can really have an effect on everyone without enough info going around.
And then finally, Alex, I want to talk about the mid lane picks yesterday, because Phoenix pulled out 3 different mid laners. He had Vladimir, I believe. Then I'm gonna forget all of them, but he had three different mid laners. The versatility there and the depth of champion pools that we've seen in the mid lane. How do you see that kind of shaping out here in playoffs? Which champions are going to be the strongest picks going through these next couple weeks?
I think that Phoenix is like, he just takes the champions that are like played in solo queue or like other regions and then tries them out. I think it's like Kin is doing the same. So basically they like look really similar. And I think it's really good in terms of the versatility because you don't know what to expect from your enemy. And like he can pick more champions in the favorable for him matchup, or he picks the champion that the enemy doesn't know the counter pick or he's not comfortable to play against. And if he's comfortable with that champion himself, it works in his favor a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Keen, who we'll be seeing today, has a relatively deep champion pool as well. I'll be curious to see if he comes out with anything special today, as we saw plenty of new stuff come out in Europe. Well, to give us a preview of today's action, we're going to send it over to Jat, who's standing by.